And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower.
Yeah, welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vasel, and this is my co-host for today, Melody, because today we're talking about a game that can be played with children, and so I thought we'd get her input on it. And this game is from R&R Games, and it is Horse Fair the card game. Now, Horse Fair the card game is a reworking of an earlier Reiner Knizia game, trendy, but this one is much more attuned for families. Now, if you look inside the box, and the main reason I picked up the game is because in the game is a whole pile of little rubbery horses. You can see them here. These are pretty much nothing but scoring tokens, but they're a lot of fun to play with, and you play with them during the game, and everyone that plays with them during the game, and it's lots of fun. Other than that, though, the game is basically just made up of a deck of cards. This deck of cards has different horses. Each horse has a name. So you can see, for example, there's Rascal. I guess I should hold him right side up so he can graze in peace. That number in the top is how many cards are needed to get in a set. It is not how many cards are in the deck. To find that out, you simply multiply the number times 2 and add 3. So there's 9 cards in the deck that have to do with Rascal. And then there's Firecracker with 5 cards. And who else is there? There's Snowflake and Sundown with 6 and 7 cards respectively. And Dandy with 4. And basically the way the game works is everybody starts out with 6 cards. Now, on your turn, what do?
You put down a card.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. You can pick any card from your hand and put it down in front of you on the table. Now, depending on what card you put down determines what happens. Most cards are normal cards of that horse, like the one I've showed you. When you place those cards down, you then check to see how many cards are on the whole table, not just in front of you, but in front of all the players. So, for example, if I put down Rascal, it has a 3, I check how many Rascal cards am I looking for?
3 Rascal cards.
Right, 3 Rascal cards. So if there's 3 on the table total, then Rascal has won the race. And everybody who has a Rascal card gets to keep it. Puts it down in front of them. What happens to all the other face-up cards that are on the table?
They get wiped away.
Right, they're wiped away, and we start over again with the next player.
The person who finished the thing, they get a horse.
Right, and the person who played the last card gets a horse. And so obviously, cards that are of a set of 3 are much easier to place down than the cards with a set of 7, like Sundown. But at the same time, you can work with each other. You can say, hey, you know, I put down Sundown. You don't want Rascal to win, do you? And there can be some negotiation.
There could be a second look.
Right, now, second look card, like Melody just mentioned, for each player, there's one for each horse. And when you play that one, it's basically as if you played 2 cards for that horse. So it's a more powerful version or more powerful aspect of that horse. What's the other card you can play?
Thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs down. When you play this card, all cards of that type are discarded from the table. They're gone. And so this can add a small degree of nastiness to the game. I mean, but really, I guess it's kind of a teaching lesson game because you shouldn't really go for one horse in front of you. For example, Sundown needs 7. If you put 4 Sundown cards in front of you, no other player is going to put down Sundown cards because they don't want you to get 4 points, take 4 cards once the set's finished. And so, and you're also setting yourself up major for a thumbs down card. While if you spread yourself out a little bit more and maybe negotiate and work with a couple other players, you can get your horse finished. Now, at the end of the game, and the game ends when the whole deck is gone through, and then after the next horse finishes a race, then everybody counts up their points.
1. This is 1 point.
Okay.
Cards are 1 point, and horses are 2.
So if you have 5 cards and 1 horse, how many points do you have? If you have 5 cards and 1 horse, then you... Come on now, your dad's a math teacher. You gotta help me out here.
9?
5 and 1 horse, not 2 horses. Well, anyway, if you have 5 cards, yes, if you have 5 cards and 1 horse, you have 7 points total, and really, that's basically the gist of the game. It takes about, the box says 20 minutes. I can't imagine how a game would take 20 minutes unless people are going really slow or turning it into some massive negotiation game. It really takes about, I don't know, 10 minutes. We played 3 games, bam, 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 right in a row. Now,
last one was the fastest.
It was. That's because we happened to score the last horse when the deck ran out, so there wasn't one more round, basically, in a sense. Now, I played the game with a variety of ages, with all my children who can actually hold cards. Younger kids aren't going to know what they're doing, but they'll still score points just out of sheer luck. I think, though, for a game of just between adults, I don't know. I'm not feeling that there's a lot of strategy there. Sure, you can throw in this whole negotiation aspect to the game, but I don't think that's going to do a whole lot. You know, arguing back and forth over which horse to play. And there's some luck in which horses you get. And then I guess there's even a little bit of backstabbing, not backstabbing, but, you know, antagonism by playing a thumbs down when someone else is doing well with the horse. But for the most part, it's a very, very light game. Kids are going to like it because they can play the cards down. And they'll get the horses. And they can easily do the addition at the end of the game, adding up the cards and the horses. Adults are going to find that it's a pleasant game, one that goes quickly. Again, they'll probably be amused by the cute horses too. And so overall, it's a fun filler. Not one that I would highly recommend. One I think is just okay. But Melody, what do you think about the game?
It's very fun. And when you win, if you lose, it's still going to be fun.
Okay.
Anyway.
That's because you lose and Dad wins all the time, huh? Actually, no, that's not true. In the last game, she pile-drived me. But scores will remain fairly close. So again, it's good for the family because you're not destroying your kids. You might be beating by 1 or 2 points. And because of the luck involved, they can easily come back. So anyway, I guess we both give a thumbs up. Hers is much higher than mine in regards to this game. But try it out. Look at for yourself. Horse Fair, the card game from R&R Games.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.